Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello.
Hola!
Bonjour.
Konnichiwa.
Ni hao.
Ciao!
Annyeonghaseyo.
Mabuhay!
Welcome to Washington State.
Explore the sights. Discover new things.
Appreciate the arts, music, and food.
Travel to new places.
Meet the people.
Make new friends.
In other words,
In other words,
come home with.
You're listening to INCRadio.
Broadcasting live from Chicago, Illinois. DZEM 954 AM station. Here to bring you great conversations about faith, people, places, culture, and recent events all around the district. Join us on YouTube at INCRadio.org. Hello, Northern Midwest and the rest of the world. It's time to get this show started.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who's tuning into another broadcast, another episode of INC Radio Northern Midwest. And we hope that you can stay with us throughout the entirety of our show today. We are only a half hour, so leave your comments there in Team Live Chat. Hello to everyone who's already commenting there. And even those sa Pilipinas, magandang umaga sa inyo dyan if you're listening to us this early in the morning. Hope we woke you up. I'm one of your hosts for today, Tony Rose Valenzuela. I'm broadcasting live from Sterling Heights, Michigan, the Mitten, and I also have my co-host with me, Brother EJ Velacruz, hailing from Rockford. I always forget. Rockford.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with us here in INCRadio Northern Midwest.
Yes, current time check for us, it's 5:03 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I know for Brother EJ as well as our other lovely guests in the panel who we'll introduce in a little bit. For them, it's 4:03 p.m.
4:03 here in the
in
Central Time Zone. Yes, it is.
Yeah, Central Time Zone. And then for our friends in the Philippines, it's already like early morning. So we hope that you can stay with us throughout our entire topic for today because we have an exciting one. This one is a little different than ones that we've done in the past. That's why I'm super hyped about it because we have our experts here from Northern Plains. You might have seen them last week if you tuned into our broadcast last weekend. They're the experts on this, and I'm so excited to get to that. But we encourage everyone there in Team Live Chat. Leave your comments. Don't forget about our hashtag challenge. Hashtag, if you're out of district, you can actually hashtag your local congregation and your district. But for those in Northern Midwest, remember, we do have our hashtag challenge, hashtag your local congregation. You can be fun with it, especially in regards to our topic today, which is making community connections through reviews. But before we get into that, what do we have next for everyone, EJ, Brother EJ?
Yeah, so before that, we have our CFO in action to know that you all want to know what activities we've been having here in both districts, I should say, in both districts. So let's find out what activities we have in our CFO in action. CFO in action. So recently we had a CWS coloring activity. This is in the local congregation of Minneapolis, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, we also have some from the local congregation of Chesterton and Lake County as well. So them coloring, I think that I see a flower there somewhere and drawing as well. So yes, that very, very creative, those kids. And there are the final results. I think that's a fox, right? that picture right there earlier. Yes, they're watching the instructions on how to draw those different things.
So cute. So sweet, so tiny. I know for those who are listening, they may not be able to see them, but we have our children's worship service or our little brethren. Very cool. Very, very cool.
If you're just listening, be sure to rewatch this later on so you can see the pictures that those little kids draw as well. And as for our upcoming activities here in Great Lakes, we have the local congregation of Cincinnati will be having their family fun day activity that will be on April 19th, and they will be playing basketball and volleyball. And the local congregation of Milwaukee will have a fun run on April 30th, and of course, a district-wide Friday youth mission I think it's in the name, but I will still say every Friday every Friday of the month. So that's for the youth. That's for the that will be led, I should say, by the both the Kadiwa and the Minhi brethren. But and I think I know Tony mentioned earlier, but we also have our Ate staff joining us today. So Ate staff, let us know what activities are upcoming there in the Northern Plains side of the district.
Thank you, Brother EJ and Sister Tony. Here on the Northern Plains side, we have a lot of exciting upcoming activities. This weekend, the Kadiwa are holding their monthly meeting. We also have an INC Giving Park cleanup sponsored by the Bookload organization here in Omaha. That'll be on Saturday, April 20th at noon. Also, in each local congregation, we are sponsoring blood drives or participating in different blood drives around the community. So be sure to reach out to your CFO leadership for more information. We also have a Kadiwa cooking activity that'll be on April 27th and 28th, depending on your local congregation. Also, on our side here in Northern Plains, we have Bible missions throughout the month of April. So, lots of exciting things coming up here in Northern Plains.
Woo! Very exciting. Always down for food. Always down for food. I wish that I could swing by over there at the Steph. Very exciting to hear all the activities that you guys have got going on. But our at the Steph and our Kuya Joey, our brother and sister, they're not just here to report on the activities, right? They're actually here as, can we call you our specialists or our resource, our awesome resource people for our topic today. So if you, well, we didn't get to see on the title, but our topic for today is making community connections through reviews. So there is we'll say it's a platform. There's a platform out there where it's typically food, but it's not just food. You can participate in different activities and leave these reviews, right? And our Ate Steph and our Kuya Joy, they've been doing this for quite some time now. They've gathered up some experience to share with us today. So we want to share this with you because if you're a foodie,
Yes, if you're a foodie, I think that's what Ate Tony was trying to say before her internet cut out. But
hobbies to try, you
oh,
may not.
there you go. She's back. Or maybe that. Okay, there you go. I think she's back now.
Yeah, so if you're looking for yeah, lagging just a little bit, but yeah, if you're interested in this is something definitely to consider as like a side gig. Reviewing local attractions could be restaurants, craft shops, activity venues. It's a great way to learn more about your community and learn something new as well in the process. So for this, we won't say the platform, right? Because we're not trying to promote, but for Sister Steph and Brother Joey, what does this job, if we can call it a job, this side gig, what does it entail? What kind of activities or places have you guys gone to be able to review?
So yeah, so what this really entails is basically like what you mentioned. We go to different restaurants, we go to different shops, and then we leave reviews on them. Sometimes for the specialists though, who are kind of more recognized on the platform, they have activities where we're all gathered together to either sample a local restaurant or meet together at a local business where we can meet the owners, know all about them, help support local communities and businesses within the city. Um, Also, some other fun things too, like one of those like trending golf places where you can also have food along there. That was a big event that we were able to go to because of our reviews. Yeah, so we were able to participate for free, which is a nice perk for the platform. And it's a really good way to scope out, especially since both of us are in the book club leadership for the locale and also for the district. It's also nice ways to scout out for activities that we can also hold in the locale or even through the district. Nice ways to build connections for those future activities as well. So again, it's pretty nice. Like, never did I think I would ever be doing candle making, but that was one of the activities that we participated in. And being in the book club mindset, I'm like, this would be a really good activity for the for the book club. So yeah, that definitely does help thinking of other CFO activities. Um, and I know another activity that we did. We were able to go behind the scenes at like a bread and pastry place. We were able to go behind the counter, help them decorate and make the bread as well. So that was a really fun activity to do. Um, Other than that, I mean, it's a really good way to also meet new people in your community, and of course that will be a good way to build rapport with people and also to share our faith with them as well.
I have a question for both of you. So, out of all of the places that you've been, what are your favorites? And do you have the same favorites?
That's so tough. Oh, actually, I do have one. We were able to go to it's basically a building in our downtown area where they have a co-working space. There's also a place where you can rent out like a photography studio or use it for events. They also have like a local business downstairs with like a cafe, and it was part of Women's History Month, so we got to meet a lot of like women-owned local businesses, which was really neat. But it was also a nice place to scope because we're like, oh, this would be a great place like to hold like a little gathering like for CFO. And also, my husband, Brother Joey, he works from home. So that's like another option, although he can go into like his actual business's like place of work. But there's also a co working space there. And that's not really something that you really think of off the top of your head that maybe I should try this or like what does it entail. So that was a pretty neat experience too. So I think that was probably one of the ones that I really look back to and remember the most.
Yeah, for me, mine definitely would probably be that trending golf place with the. I mean, it's fun to be able to just go and it's golf and you get some good food as well. That definitely is probably my favorite one so far.
Gotcha. Okay. So, how long have you guys been doing this? About roughly, just a
This
good
is
estimate.
like our third year now. Yeah, so this is our third year. So it's based on like the first time you're in it, you're automatically like on the first year tier. So this is our third year doing it together.
Gotcha. Okay. So there might be some who are listening that are probably a little bit more introverted, or maybe they feel shy. Like, how did you get into doing this, Ate and Kuya? Like, what was the appeal? Like, how did you I guess muster up the bravery to just start doing reviews? Because some might be intimidated by it, right? How
Yeah.
did you feel about it?
For myself, I feel like I know everyone kind of remembers me from when I was younger, but I actually kind of become more of an introvert, especially during the pandemic. And so it was actually around the time of the pandemic where we started to get into this platform group. And the like the main person who organizes all of these events reached out to me because of a review I had left. And it was the first time I had left like a very like pretty detailed review because we tried out this brunch place that we just like really loved so much, and we are like, oh, more people should know about this because they had recently just opened. And I was like, okay, maybe this is like a good way to start getting myself like around more people, and just to build more connections, especially since when you get older, it's not like you're at school and like at different extracurriculars where you're meeting new people all the time. It's just like my coworkers. And so like having like another group where we can build more connections with different people. We've got so much like closer to a lot of different people who are also in this group that, like I share with them different things on different social media platforms about different things coming up or like the Bible verse of the day, and just being able to share more of like the church related content and sharing our faith with them too is also a really nice way for us to build like a deeper connection with them too.
Yeah. For me, I've always been introverted. If you already know me from before, yeah, I've always been introverted. Um, I was able to go to one of her events when she first started. I was a plus one, and I thought it was pretty cool that you could be able to like have these perks as um as a more like recognized reviewer. So that that's honestly what got me in. All the perks, all the free stuff. That's kind of what got me in, and then I kind of just went along for the ride. It is also nice to also have those other connections that you can make outside of like your workplace or even school.
That's really cool. I like that both of you have the way that you speak on it. Your mindset is really in that place of, being able to, I guess, benefit, like, because we're always talking about how we can help our fellow man, right? I think that's so awesome that you guys are able to do that, even just through reviews, especially local businesses, because that can be really tough sometimes, like trying to get your business out there. And I know both of you are really into photography too. So when you do your reviews, does that also come into play to kind of like showcase the place and the places you've gone to?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
yeah, for sure. Like, I've gotten to a point where like, if the main photographer isn't there, like, they'll ask me to step in and take photos for their event so they can post as well. So
Wow.
yeah, so like I've helped out for a couple events, so it's pretty cool. It's also a way to like kind of get my name out there, like as a photographer even. So that's also another nice way to be part of this platform.
That's really awesome. And can you speak more a little bit on how it's inspired the way that you, I guess, try to think of activities for your district or even your local congregation? What are some ones that kind of helped inspire in terms of like your visits and everything, or even planning?
Yeah, I think just being part of a lot more like elaborate events, it gives you a lot of like inspiration. We're like, oh man, I really would love for brethren here in our local congregation or here in our district to experience this. So when we were planning things like booklet formal or different CFO activities within our local congregation with the CFO, or even like our Kadiwa officers here we'll let them know like, hey, we noticed like a lot of the ones who are around your age in our group were talking about this and they were like really into it. Like, like when someone's like leading paintings or like even the candle making, that could be something across all CFO organizations. So just being able to share those experiences with them, and already you're not like coming into it blindly. You're not just like, oh, maybe we should try this, but we've already experienced it. And if it was like somewhat fun for us, and we know the brethren pretty well here in our local congregation, so just thinking of them when we're at these activities, we're like, oh man, so brother so and so or sister so and so would love this. Like, we already know this is going to be like on like their coffee table at home, like with these candles and just things like that. So I think that's a really cool way. Like, we always have that conversation when we're out at these different activities or events amongst each other.
That's so great. Like my heart is so soft just thinking of the way that you guys approach it. Your mindset that you're always thinking about the brethren, like, oh, we could totally, so and so would totally love this. And at the same time, you're also doing things for the community as well, like what Brother Joey mentioned about, standing in to take pics. So for those who are listening to this broadcast today, you can combine your talents and your skills to not only help the brethren in the church, but even those, outside. Do you have any other insights, Brother Joey and Sister Steph, that you want to add to maybe someone who is thinking or considering this? Any advice that you would want to give them who might want to start this up?
Definitely just having like an outline for detailed reviews of like things that you look for, that people would think about. For me, I'm very like type A with planning. So like if someone's like, hey, we're gonna meet here, I'm already looking, all right, where are we going to park? How are the bathrooms? Like things like that. So just like in what you would love to get from a review, that's how you should review like the different places. But also thinking about like how your review can really get the name out of different local businesses or different people. It's not even just like restaurants, it's photographers, videographers, artists in the community, just a lot of different ways. Especially now that we're like in this post-pandemic world where a lot of people are kind of rebuilding in a sense like their businesses and their different platforms. It's a really great way to help get their name out again, or help like get more people involved in trying different experiences, visiting different places, whether it be them alone or like for a date night for the bookload couples, or for a time for all of the youth to gather together at like a local coffee shop and just hang out. There's just so many different things you can do with having this type of platform.
Very awesome. Any additional thoughts, Brother Joey, on that?
Yeah, and also it's like again, it's a good way to meet new people who you don't already know. So that's always a good way to meet new people to share our faith to. So like if we've already shared our faith with like a bunch of our other friends who have have already like heard our pitch for them. This is like a new group of people that you could use to you know invite to Bible studies, Bible missions, and all that. So that's also like another good way to think of it. Like if you're hesitant to try to do it, always think like, how can I tie this into my faith and share my faith as well.
And I just want to clarify to everyone who's listening, you guys had no, special background before starting this out, right? You just started, right? They're nodding their heads. You can't see, but they're nodding their heads.
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, there was no like specific requirements for getting into this platform's like group for being main reviewers. So yeah, it's just something, if that's something that you want to do, get those reviews started, build those connections.
I love that. Thank you guys so much for sharing your insights. I hope those who are listening, I'm excited. I want to start this up now. We can't promote the platform, of course, live on air, but you're welcome to reach out to us. I feel like most people might know which platform we're talking about. But yeah, that's
Tagalog, it rhymes with the English translation for too long.
that's a very complex way of.
Well, I feel like if I say the English translation, it would be too easy to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's
Ask
smart.
the Tagalog speaking friend.
That's really smart, EJ, brother EJ. Thanks for that one. So if you wanna replay that hint, it is there. The hint is there. And speaking of words, because we always like learning together here on Northern Midwest, right? Before we close out the show, one of the segments that we love doing is our Christian Society for the Deaf. This is your sign. And today, since we've been talking about community and how to kind of help one another reach out to our fellow man, we're going to learn how to sign neighborhood. So let's see how we can do that together.
This is your sign.
When you live in an area that's surrounded by a bunch of other houses or a community in general, we usually tend to call that as a neighborhood. So we thought for today's sign of the week, we would sign the word neighborhood. It's pretty simple. What you would do is first you clasp your hands together, and with your dominant hand, like for example, I'm right-handed, so you're gonna take that dominant hand and separate it about maybe a foot apart from each other like this, which would represent your neighbor's house. Pretend this is your house, and then this would be your neighbor's house. So this would be the first part. And then what you would do with your dominant hand is circle above it, representing the area of your community. So all together, it'd be like this. One more time. Neighborhood. And that's how you sign neighborhood. Thank you for joining us in our sign of the week, brothers and sisters. We hope to see you all in the next sign of the week. Thank you.
This is your sign.
So much love for our Christian Society for the Deaf Brethren. Always love learning. That's my favorite segment. I'm biased, but that's okay. But we also know that the next segment that we have is also everyone's favorite. They're in Team Live Chat. I've been seeing the hashtags all the way throughout the show. Shout out to everyone who's been there. But let's see the results from last week of our hashtag challenge winners. I'm curious who got the top. Who got the top this time? Let's see.
See one actually first for our honorable mention for the people outside of the district who is still tuning in with us. Thank you for tuning in. Actually, I'm seeing some familiar names there. For the third place, the local congregation of Omaha won third place, and Sister MJ Solomon, individual place. And in second place is the congregation of Bloomingdale with Sister Rachel winning second place. Oh, I wonder who's in first place. Brother Edwin Short winning the individual first place as well as the local congregation of Kansas City winning the local congregation first place. So congratulations to everyone who has been sharing all of your wonderful hashtags. I know you're also creative with your hashtags. I wish I had that kind of creativity, but we do hope that you enjoyed today's show. And just before we close up, at the staff, do you guys have any shout outs that you want to give out just before I close out the show?
Shout out to Edwin for taking home first place Also, shout out to Omaha, of course, and Northern Plains. Um, Hello.
Hello, everyone. Northern Plains.
Yes, thank you for joining us as well in today's show. And if you're speaking of viewers, if you're just learning today about the Iglesia ni Cristo or the Church of Christ, we do encourage you to learn more through our other programs here on INCRadio, or you can also check out our directory at directory.iglesianicristo.net to find the nearest local congregation in your area. And of course, we won't end our show without saying our special thanks to the people who make our show possible. To the district staff here in the District of Great Lakes, Brother CJ Manansan, our District Multimedia Advisor, Brother Junior Alarin, our CFO Advisor, Brother Arthur P. Agag, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Erman T. Vindisho, our District Minister, as well as in the Northern Plains staff, Brother Edison Solomon, their CFO Advisor, and Brother Elmer Parongao, their District Minister, and as well as the rest of the district staff as well. And then in the Philippines, our Station Manager, Brother Arnel Solano, to our executive producer, Brother Manly and Diane, of course, our awesome critics in the studio, and to Brother Angelo Iranio V. Manalo, our CEBSI President and CFO Coordinator, and most especially to our executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. We thank you again for joining us today. Up next is INC Radio Sacramento, California. So keep tuning in, and we will see you again next week on the next episode of INC Radio Northern Midwest. Stay phenomenal, everyone. Bye.